Hello, and welcome to the eighth installment of the Health 360 series. This is a demo of the Ultimate Fitness Companion Excel file. This product features three templates from the Health 360 series combined into a single Excel file, which are the Weight and Fitness Digital Monitor, the Meals and Nutrition Navigation Tool, and the Workout Planner Digital Wizard. In simple terms, this template is the ultimate tool to help you manage all aspects of your fitness journey, implementing trackers and dashboards for weight, fitness, nutrition, and workout metrics, as well as nutrition and workout tools to help you design and plan daily meals and workouts, thus bringing a new digital landscape into your fitness tools. Feel free to check the link to my shop to find all the Health 360 series products as well as other Excel templates and productivity tools. You can also check out my YouTube channel to see other product demos, tutorials, and courses that might be of interest to you. Now that we're all set, let's dive straight into the good stuff. I want to use our time together to give you an overview of the template. If you're interested, there are additional deep dive videos where we will review the dashboards as well as the tools in detail. You can find the link to those videos in the description below. Also, feel free to check out the links to individual product demo videos in case you're interested in those. For this video, there are five main sections that we will be covering. First, customization, then digital journal, dashboards, tools, and finally, additional functionalities. But first, let's quickly go through the contents of this template. There are 12 tabs or worksheets in this file. First, customization, where you will configure and customize your template. My journal, which you will use to define and track your metrics. Then 4 dashboard worksheets. Weight, to visualize and evaluate your weight efforts and celebrate your progress. Fitness, to visualize and evaluate your fitness progress and achievements. Nutrition, where you will find a dashboard corresponding to these metrics. And workout, where you will find a dashboard corresponding to your workouts and muscle groups. Then 3 nutrition tool worksheets, starting with nutrition values, where you will find food and dish database. Then the planner, the nutrition planner, which is the daily meal planner and design tool, and the nutrition log, which is a comprehensive daily log serving as a companion to your nutrition planner. And finally, the 3 workout tool worksheets. Workout exercises, where you will find your exercise database, the workout design, which you will use to build 50 workout routines, and the workout plan, which is a 6-week daily workout schedule for you to plan your workouts. Naturally, you can think of this file as 3 templates in one. The first one is a fitness tracker with a daily journal for you to track your weight, 30 fitness and nutrition metrics, and up to 50 workouts or exercise routines, coupled with 4 companion dashboards for you to evaluate and visualize your performance across each of those metrics. The second one is a nutrition and meal planner tool that helps you design your daily meals to ensure you meet your nutritional requirements. This tool is comprised of the database, the planner, and the log, and also has a cool search tool to make things easier, here located in the planner. And the third one is a workout design and planner tool that helps you design up to 50 workouts and create a 6-week plan that you can also print, powered by a comprehensive exercise database that is preloaded with 300 entries. This tool is comprised of the database, the one that has the exercises preloaded, then the design tool, and the planning worksheet. Now let's go through a quick summary and show you how this entire file works. We'll start with customization. Step 0 is for you to customize your template. The only required values here are the unit systems, located here on the first block on the left, which can be either imperial system, as in pounds and feet, or metric system, as in kilograms and meters. And secondly, your height, which you will enter in your preferred units. For imperial, you will be entering feet and inches in a separate field, while for metric, you will only be specifying your height in meters. You also have the option to customize the labels across your entire template. You will find several sections, such as this one, in this worksheet, right next to the height and measurement system block. Each of these sections indicate the worksheet or group of worksheets for the labels you will find in them. Within each of these sections, all you have to do is to change the values on the right of the tables containing the labels and/or symbols used across each of the sections. So for example, if I want to change any of the labels in my workout dashboard labels, I will go to these two tables and then change the values on the right. Then for the tracker, you will go to the My Journal worksheet. After step 0, step 1 is to enter the start and end dates in your journal, where you will choose any time frame up to 53 weeks long or 371 days in total. The calendar, located here on the right at the top of your journal, will update automatically based on your selections, and it will show month and year, week number, and then the day with the initial of the name as well as the number. Naturally, each column corresponds to a new date. And notice that your start date will always be the first day of the first week, starting on column I. Then on step 2, you will define your metrics for you to then track them. You have 4 different groups of metrics. You have weight, fitness, nutrition, and finally workouts. Let's start with weight. Enter first your start and goal weight values. You will use the less than or equal to symbol or the greater than or equal to symbol to indicate your goal. The less than or equal to symbol will mean you will want to lose weight, while the greater than or equal to symbol, the second option, will mean you want to gain weight. Once you have defined the start and goal values, you will track your weight daily or weekly by entering your weight every day or at least once per week in your journal. Note that you will only fill out the first row, as the second and third rows are automated. Let's now go to the fitness metrics. Here you will be able to track up to 30 fitness metrics, each with their own start point and goal values. Write down each of your fitness metrics directly in the space provided. After that, enter your start and goal values. The same set of rules as for the weight section apply, indicating you want to increase that metric with the greater than or equal to symbol, or that you want to decrease by using the less than or equal to symbol. Finally, you will track each of your metrics daily or weekly by entering their values every day or once per week in your journal. Here. Next up, nutrition. Here you will be able to track up to 30 nutrition metrics, each with their own goal and an optional daily value. First, write down each of your nutrition metrics in the space provided. Notice that calories, fat, carbs, and protein are already predefined. Then enter your daily goal values. You will set your target to be above or below your goal using the greater than or equal to symbol, that is the second option, and less than or equal to symbols respectively. Finally, you will track each of your metrics daily by entering their values on the columns that match the day you're filling out for in your journal. Lastly, let's talk about your workouts. You can keep track of up to 50 workouts or exercise routines. Unlike the previous metrics, you will not define the workouts in this section. You will do that in the workout tools, specifically in the workout design worksheet. Therefore, this section is only for tracking and not for definition. All you need to do here is to mark the completion of your workouts. Here, by entering a check mark from the drop-down menu provided. Leaving a cell empty or using the dash symbol will have the same no completion meaning and effect. Next up, let's go to your dashboards. There is a weight and fitness dashboard video explaining all the details you need to know about those two dashboards. For now, let's just briefly touch on them to give you a summary of the functionalities implemented. This first dashboard consists of 3 sections: an overview of your parameters, a summary of your progress in the middle, and then a weekly breakdown of your values and your trends. First, let's talk about the overview section on the left. Report date is the date that will act as a cutoff for your dashboard, indicating what is the latest date that will be used to assess your performance. This will be in sync with your dashboard, or will show today's date via a formula. Next, you will view a summary of your settings, displaying your set dates and therefore duration, the units you have specified, your height, and goals, as well as your starting point. All of these values are pulled directly from your journal. You will then find a helpful BMI reference table to review your starting, current, and goal values. Simply switch between them by using the drop-down provided. Like this. Lastly, you will also visualize a summary of your objective, as well as a recommended or standard healthy weight gain or loss reference to compare against your goal and evaluate how aggressive or conservative it might be. The second section in the middle will display a summary of your progress. This first row implements a checkbox for you to select between average or end of week values. Notice that the label here will change depending on your selection. And the values in the dashboard will also be changed automatically to reflect that selection. Next, you will see your current weight and BMI metrics, as well as the progress you have achieved against your starting point. Below these two, you will find a time series displaying the weekly values, either averages or specific values based on your selection, where you will be able to keep an eye of your performance, strength, and distance to goal. The horizontal dashed line is a reference to your goal, while the dotted line is a linear trend of your progress. Lastly, in this summary section, you also have two progress bars. These act as visual indicators, displaying the remaining distance to your goal, as well as the remaining time for you to achieve your goal, based on the duration of your journal. The third section of this dashboard, the weekly values and trends, or weekly breakdown, will show up to 53 rows. That is, one per week. For each week, the table will show the average or end of week values based on your selection via the checkbox, as well as the changes against your start and the prior week values. These changes will be presented with an absolute number, a percentage, as well as a trend indicated with the arrow. You can see that the same three values are applied on the change against the start as well as on the change against the prior week. Now let's go to your fitness dashboard. This worksheet is very similar to other dashboards implemented in the Health 360 series. There are essentially two logical sections in the worksheet. There's a date section on the left, displaying your start and end dates from your journal, as well as a report date, which is the same cutoff value we discussed. In this first section for the fitness dashboard, you also have a few additional parameters below your dates, as well as a weekly breakdown table. These two additional date parameters will let you set the starting point as well as the ending point for your time series graphs. Below these parameters, you will find two checkboxes. The first one allows you to select either weekly averages or end of week values, much like the weight dashboard, while the second one will allow you to see comparisons between either the start or the previous weeks for each of the metrics. Finally, as we mentioned, there is a table displaying every week in your journal, showcasing start and end values as well as number of days for each of the weeks, which will be updated as you go or progress in your journal. Notice that the dates that are beyond the current report date will be grayed out. The other section on the right will correspond to your fitness metrics section, and it contains 5 blocks, each with the same functionalities implemented. You can visualize up to 5 metrics at once by using each of the 5 blocks in the metrics section of the dashboard. The only thing you will need to do is to select a metric from your defined metrics in your journal using this dropdown provided. Once you do that, the dashboard will be updated automatically. For example, now no metric is selected, but then if I look for waist again, you can see that everything there is updated now. Notice that as part of this dashboard, you will always have the option to select your weight as well. There are a total of 6 automated fields in each of these blocks. First, you have the name of your metric, which corresponds to the metric selected in the dropdown, here at the top. And then you will see the summary of your selected metric, start and goal values. Below that, you will see a weekly time series depicting the values of your metric. These graphs will be affected by the additional parameters located in the left. And then finally, below that, you will also see a weekly breakdown of your values. Here you will see your weekly average or end of week, as well as the change against the start or the prior week based on your selections on the checkboxes. Now let's move to the nutrition dashboard. As you can see, this worksheet is also very similar to other dashboards implemented in the series. There's a separate deep dive video dedicated to this particular dashboard in case you want to watch that. Here again, you have 2 logical sections. There's a date section on the left, displaying your start and report date, much like in the previous one. Then you have 2 additional date parameters and an additional checkbox and threshold parameter. And at the bottom, you also have a weekly breakdown table here. Much like in the fitness dashboards, these 2 from and to date parameters will let you zoom in or zoom out in the graphs on the right, changing the start point and the end point of those graphs. Here, the checkbox will allow you to switch between the overall or average and the daily compliance against your defined target. And in addition, you will also see this threshold parameter, which is a compliance threshold that will help you define green, yellow, and red status for your dashboard. Right next to this date section, you also have the metrics on the right. Much like in the fitness dashboard, here you can also visualize up to 5 metrics at once by using each of the 5 blocks in the metrics section. The only thing you need to do here is to select any of your defined metrics by using the dropdowns provided. And once you do that, your dashboard will be updated automatically. For example, I just deleted the first metric, I selected calories again, and now my dashboard is updated. There are 4 automated elements in each of these blocks. First, you have the definition metrics, so the summary of what metric you're selecting, the goal, and the daily value. Then you will see a weekly time series depicting the values of your metric. Then the third element is a summary view of your metric, which will display the overall progress and status of that metric. And then you have a weekly breakdown table at the bottom. In this summary view, so the middle section, you will have a couple of tables. This one on the left, which is the secondary, and then the primary on the right. For the primary, together with the donut graph, choosing overall compliance, so activating the checkbox, will show your overall or average compliance for each metric, as well as the daily excess or deficit, depending on your goal. On the other hand, choosing daily compliance, so unchecking the checkbox, will show the number of days within target, as well as the number of missed days of each metric. As you can see, the secondary table will show the complementary evaluation, that is the one that is not currently shown in the primary table, displaying absolute and percentage value for each of their metrics. You can see that if I change my threshold value, then my status coloring will change. Not only in the donut graph, but also on my weekly breakdown table. This weekly breakdown table will show the weekly performance in line with the weekly section of your dashboard. 2 weekly values are displayed, the status as well as the weekly average. The weekly average will correspond to the overall or average value for each of the weeks, regardless of your checkbox selection. For this weekly value, a graph, an absolute, and a percentage will be shown. Now for the status, a color coding will be applied based on the evaluation of the weekly value and the threshold parameter you have defined. You can think of this threshold value as a tolerance that is applied when evaluating the status for the weekly and overall compliance. And you have the status legend here on the left to remember what the meaning of that coloring is. Now let's move on to the fourth and final dashboard, the workout dashboard. This dashboard again is fully automated and only requires you to select the workout here or the muscle group here you want to display for each of the sections. For this one, there's also a short deep dive video linked in the description, which you can watch if you want to learn more about this one. Here again, 2 logical sections define the worksheet. The date section on the left, displaying start and end date from the journal as well as the report date or cutoff date. And then here you have 2 breakdown tables, one for the month and years and one for the weeks, depending on your start and end date definitions. The other section corresponds to the dashboard on the right, containing workouts as well as muscle groups. You can see that these 2 blocks are identical with the same format, metrics, and formulas, and they only differ in the data displayed. In each of these blocks, you will find 2 daily completion views, coinciding with the breakdown tables on the left. Within the first view, each of the rows corresponds to a month, and in the second one, each row corresponds to a week. The color green will be applied in the background of each of those daily cells to show when a workout or a muscle group for the second block was completed based on your tracker. And in addition to the daily completion indication, you also have some additional summary metrics. In the table here at the top, below your dropdown, you will find the average number of times the workout was completed per week, the last day that workout was completed, and then the longest streak or longest consecutive number of days that the workout was completed. Right next to that table, you will find the total number of days that a workout was completed. And below this figure, you will find subtotals by month or by week. You can see that the same metrics apply for the muscle group block, with the difference that it will show when a given muscle group was trained, based on how you have defined your workouts in the design worksheet. In addition, you can also select all the workouts to have a view of when you have trained, no matter which particular workout, or you can select specific workouts if you want. Let's now move on to your nutrition tools. In general terms, for the nutrition tools, there are 3 steps you need to follow, each implemented in its own worksheet. So step 1 will correspond to the nutrition values worksheet or the food and dish database. Step 2, you will go to your planner in the nutrition planner worksheet. And then finally, step 3, and optional in this case, you will go to your nutrition log. So let's go back and talk about your nutrition values worksheet. Here you will review and edit your food and dish database, entering new items or rows into your table on the right, and you will be filling out all the required nutritional information. The mandatory values are columns H and then columns J to O, so the name of the food and dish, serving size and unit, and then the first 4 macronutrient variables, calories, fat, carbs, and protein. Everything else is optional. You can see that this worksheet is a simple and comprehensive food and dish database to store all your nutritional information in one place. There is room for up to 1,000 food or dishes in your database. Here you will also provide tags on column I by specifying comma-separated values that you can later use in the search functionality. Notice that the nutritional information that you enter in this worksheet will be always on a per serving basis. And the metrics that you defined in your journal will be populated here in the columns. If no metric is specified, then the value not specified is given for the column header, and everything is grayed out. Finally, you also have a panel on the left to show the values of a line item from your database, which you can activate by selecting an entry from the drop-down provided. This selection will also highlight the value in your database. And as you can see, the nutritional information gets updated in this format, which resembles a food label. Next up, your nutrition planner. Here on step 2, you will design and plan your meals, selecting a day of the week here in the top left on the dropdown provided, and then editing your preferred daily meals on this table at the middle, adding your day, meal, food, and then serving quantity, and then choosing via this dropdown which foods or dishes to include. This worksheet is a daily meal planner built for you to design your meals and analyze their nutritional information. The tool includes automated summaries on the left by metric, by meal, by day, and other combinations. Macronutrients will be calculated automatically based on the information from your database and the specified quantities. As you can see here on this table, you can plan up to 6 meals per day. First, you will configure the name of the meal and then select whether that meal is active or you don't want to include it. Then you will add the food and dishes from your database and specify which day and which meal they correspond to. Then, as we mentioned, you will enter the serving quantity you will have for that particular meal. And as soon as you do that, the nutritional information, so calories, fat, carbs, and protein, as well as the serving size and unit from your database, will be updated automatically. And finally, when choosing to include or exclude that particular line item, your dashboards on the top, as well as the summaries on your left, will be updated automatically. As we mentioned, there's also a food and dish search tool implemented in the planner worksheet. You can locate that here on the right. This will display entries from your database based on your select criteria, which come from the tags that you have specified, as well as some additional parameters. So you can sort by any particular column, order in ascending or descending, and then you can specify whether to take those tags as a whole or as an individual match for each of the line items in your database. The last step in these nutrition tools is for you to go to your advanced log. But remember, this is an optional step. This advanced log functionality will help you enter all your daily foods and dishes with their nutritional values to keep a detailed log of all your meals. Note that this log has no effect whatsoever on the dashboard. It is there as an additional and more detailed log and is separate from the dashboard as well as the journal. This log is designed for you to keep track of not only your nutritional metrics in your journal, but also every single food and dish that you have consumed, each with their respective servings, quantity, and all their related nutritional information. You essentially have two tables on this worksheet. Both tables have automatic formats based on the content. The first one, this one on the left, will populate automatically based on the selection that you have made on your planner. The second one, which starts on column AS, here on the right, has the same columns as the first one, but will have no formulas or no values if you start with a blank template. This second table on the right will be your advanced log table. To record your values, you will simply make sure the meal planner first is up to date in the nutrition planner worksheet. Then you will go to this worksheet and you will verify the date displayed here in entry date. This field has a formula to reflect today's date, but you can change it if you want to. Then you will go to the bottom of this table and you will copy all your values with Control Copy on your selection. You will click on Go to Last Log Record, which will allow you to append the table on the right. And then here you will do either paste and then paste as values, or you can also do Ctrl-Alt-V. And then in this special menu, you will select values and then OK. Notice that as soon as I entered that information, the formatting got updated and the number of entries in my table also got updated. If I go back to my select values, and then I go back to my last log record, now you can see that the link automatically tells me to go to the last row so that I can append and not overwrite this table. Feel free to check out the Nutrition Tools deep dive video for additional details on these three worksheets. Let's now review the workout tools. As we mentioned earlier in the video, for workouts, you will first need to define them using the tools. Let's take a look at how the workout tools work with each other and how they are connected to your tracker. Here again you have 3 steps, each step implemented in its own worksheet. First, you will review your exercise database, then you will define your workouts, and as soon as you have defined them, you will be able to see them in your journal, so you will be able to track them. And then finally, you can plan your monthly workout schedule. Let's go back to step 1. This exercise database is preloaded with 300 exercises that you can choose from. You can also define new exercises and customize your muscle groups and equipment needed. This worksheet is a simple and comprehensive exercise database to store all your exercises in one place. There is room for up to 1,000 exercises here, in this table on the right. You will enter new items in your database following 3 steps. First, you customize your muscle groups as well as the equipment types, which will be used as drop-downs for the muscle group column, so column I, as well as the equipment type, column M. Then you will define the exercise name and will assign a muscle group, which are the only 2 required values for your database. And finally, you will fill out the rest of the optional columns. You also have an optional highlight functionality in this template. You can highlight groups or highlight equipments, and these 2 work together. So if I select arms and barbell, only exercises or line items that have arms as muscle groups and barbells as equipment type needed will be highlighted. You also have a link here at the top if you want to append this table and add a new exercise. Now let's move to your workout design. In this worksheet, you will define and customize your workouts. This workout design tool allows you to create up to 50 workouts based on the exercises from your database. It also implements a search tool on the left to navigate your database in an easier way, implementing the same columns from your database. You can find a workout slot or block that you want to edit by selecting a workout from the drop-down menu provided. Once you find the one you want to look for, you will click on Go to Selection, and you will be positioned automatically on that block. The first thing you will do is to define your workout's name by typing it here on this first merge cell block at the top of each workout section. You will then edit the columns of the block you will be using, following a 3-step process. First, you create optional blocks with customized section names by entering the name of the block directly in this column. So for example, warm-up circuit or circuit number 1, circuit number 2. Or if I look at this one, you could also have warm-up sets, supersets, or you can also have a warm-up, a drop set, working sets, cool down, whatever you like. Then step 2 is to enter an exercise from your database using the dropdowns provided under the exercise name column. As soon as you enter a new exercise, the muscle groups and primary muscle columns will be pulled automatically from your database. Do not modify these two. And then step 3, you will enter sets, reps or time, weight, and then rest time in number and then seconds or minutes. Once you have designed your workouts, or as soon as you have entered a name here at the top, you can then head back to your journal and start tracking them. As an example, if I modify workout 04 to say something like example, I can now go back to my journal, go to the workout section, and you will see example is now defined. In the same way, if I go to the workout dashboard, and then I want to select example, you can find it here. Of course, no tracking information has been provided, so the dashboard basically is empty. One of the coolest features of this design tool is that the workouts are completely flexible and dynamic. That is, the blocks can be of any number of exercises, up to 150 line items, and the format of each row will be determined on the input that you specify. Notice that the number of line items is reflected on the border for each of the workouts. And also, depending on whether I have defined a block or an exercise, each row has a different format. This is all done automatically by your template. And much like the workouts, the search results will be also formatted automatically. That is, this table grows or shrinks as needed and is formatted accordingly. For example, if I delete the favorite parameter and don't specify it, you can see that I now have more exercises being displayed. Or what happens if I choose arms here? You can see that the results got updated and also the formatting of this table. Now let's talk about your workout plan. In this third and final step, you will go to this planner and define the weekly workout schedule that you want. You can plan up to 5 workouts or routines per day, here, and fill out your 6-week calendar to visualize a monthly plan. The workouts you then choose will be automatically combined into a single table that you can also print. Let's go over a quick overview for this worksheet and see how the whole thing works. Step 1, select the month that you are planning for, as well as the year here below the month, and you will see how the calendar gets updated automatically. For example, let's choose May of 2025, just for the example. And as you can see, the numbers located here are updated automatically. What happens if I select January? You can see that the same happened for whatever month that you choose. You can also choose between Sunday or Monday for your week to begin on that specific day. Then step 2 is for you to select your workout routines from the dropdowns provided. The values appearing in this dropdown will correspond to the names that you have given to your workout. Notice that you can also select a rest day. Then for step 3, you will choose a particular week out of the 6, and that week will be pulled directly to your tables on the right. Notice that the workouts you have specified will be combined into a single view. I can select week 2, for example, and here I have 2 workouts for each of the days. If I go back to my tables on the right, my workouts for each of the days of the week will be updated. Now, what happens if I select a rest day, for example on Wednesday, on week number 1? Here, my first 3 workouts are displayed, but then on week 1 Wednesday, it says rest day. You also have the option to choose top goals as well as some additional notes for each of the months. Feel free to check out the Workout Tools deep dive video for additional details on these worksheets. Now, let's talk about some additional functionalities implemented in this template. There are a few additional functionalities that I wanted to show you. First, let's talk about show color coding. There's an optional yet very cool functionality implemented in the journal worksheet called Show Color Coding, activated via this checkbox on cell F5. When activated, the tracker cells in your journal will adopt a background color to indicate progress towards or completion of a goal. Activating the checkbox will have basically 2 effects. First, a set of arrows will appear right next to your metrics, and this will indicate the direction of what is considered better, depending on the goal that you have defined. So it will be a visual representation of whether you want to be below or above a certain target, or whether you want to decrease or increase a certain metric. And secondly, the color coding will be applied to your tracker cells, displaying progress or completion. Each section will have its own interpretation based on the goals that you have defined, as well as the starting values. Second, let's review the highlight date. Here, this field, below the start and end date values. This field is implemented in your journal for easier navigation, and by default, it will implement a formula showing today's date. Once defined, this link will appear, which you can click and will be positioned automatically in the column corresponding to the highlight date parameter. You can change the highlight date manually, either directly entering date here or by choosing a date from the dropdown provided. Notice that highlight date does not need to be set prior to filling out your journal. It is entirely optional and designed to make it easier for you. And third and final functionality, let's go to your workout section. Here, you also have an additional dropdown. This search dropdown included in the workout panel will let you select a particular workout, and once you have done that, we'll highlight it in your journal, and you will also be able to be positioned automatically on that row once you click the Go link provided here. So if I select again workout 27, which was there, and I click on Go, you can see that it's highlighted and I am automatically positioned on row 103, corresponding to workout number 27. That's it. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment below. Feel free to check out the deep dive videos for dashboards and tools linked in the description. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I will be uploading more product demos as well as Excel tutorials and courses to help you create your own tools and templates and improve your spreadsheet skills. You might also want to explore the rest of the Health 360 series product videos available on my channel. And if you're interested in more productivity and planning tools, don't hesitate to check out my store by clicking the link in the description. Until next time, stay productive, stay awesome.